So this downward trend for gas prices is continuing. The national average well under $5 a gallon right now. Here on Portland's Afternoon News to talk more about this, why these gas prices are falling, is our oil and gas industry expert, Jay Young. Jay, good to have you back on the program.
Hey, Tim, glad to be here again. Thank you for having me.
Why do you think falling prices continue?
Yeah, well, we're seeing, recessionary fears now, and people aren't buying as much, gasoline as they were before. It's all about supply and demand. Like right now, demand's down, supplies are not strong, but they're there meeting that demand. So prices are down.
Now, at the White House, they're taking some credit, at least, for the lower cost of gas. Listen to this.
Gas prices are now down 86 cents a gallon from their June peak, saving American families with 2 cars on average over $90 a month.
That is Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. She's been talking about President Biden continuing to take action, releasing oil from the Strategic Oil Reserve, about 1 million barrels a day, they say. How much is that really affecting prices, in your opinion?
Yeah, not much. We need 20 million barrels a day or more. I mean, our appetite or addiction, as George Bush used to call it, our addiction's 20 million barrels a day. We're only producing 12. We need to be at 14 or 15 million a day. We're not there yet, and the Strategic Reserve does help, but it's like we're kicking the can down the road. Somebody's going to have to pay it back, or we're going to have to buy it back at a future date. We're still paying more for gasoline than we were 2 years ago when he came in office.
We are talking about falling gas prices today here on Portland's Afternoon News. Our guest today is oil and gas industry expert Jay Young. Jay, do you know where the oil comes from that we have in the National Reserve? Is that guys like you drilling and then turning it over to the government?
Right, exactly. Yeah, where they buy it from people like us and hold it down there in the Houston or Shreveport, and they just stock it there.
And lastly, the president has urged oil companies to do more drilling. You and I have talked about this before. Are companies doing that now, or does it make sense economically?
Yeah, Tim, it's interesting because right now, public companies have not. Like Exxon made $6 billion last quarter, and they spent $10 billion buying back their stock. And Pioneer made $2.5 billion, and they're saying that they're not going to go back in and start drilling. They talk about these dividends back to their shareholders. So that's the change. In the past, if we did have companies like this making all these profits, they would start drilling again. So we go on another cycle. Because right now, we're not drilling anymore for oil and gas, which is not good for the economy at all.
Well, Jay, we're going to have to leave it right there, but we always appreciate having you here on Portland's Afternoon News. Thanks again.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for having me, and God bless. Y'all take care.